Everyone feels it now. That quiet pressure that never really turns off. The sense that time is moving faster, but progress feels slower. The feeling that no matter how much effort you put in, you're still behind where you thought you'd be. You wake up already tired. You check your phone before your mind has a chance to settle, and somehow the day disappears before anything meaningful happens. Most people think this means they're failing. They're not. They're being slowed, not by accident, not by bad luck, not because they're incapable. They're being slowed on purpose because a fast, focused person is dangerous. A clear-minded person is unpredictable. And someone who can think independently doesn't stay inside systems very long. So instead of stopping you, the system delays you. And delay is far more effective than resistance. This video is about that delay, where it comes from, how it works, and why so many capable people feel like they're running in place even while doing everything they were told was right. Once you see it, the pressure starts to lift. Not because things get easier, but because the confusion disappears. You were given a story early on: work hard, stay busy, be patient, and eventually things will fall into place. That story worked once, in a slower world, in a world without constant interruption. Back then, focus was the default. Silence existed. Attention wasn't being auctioned off every second of the day. Today, effort alone doesn't move you forward. It just keeps you occupied. You can work nonstop and still feel behind. You can consume endless information and still lack clarity. You can follow every rule and still feel trapped. That's not a personal failure. That's the environment doing what it was designed to do. The system doesn't need you to quit. Quitting is unpredictable. It needs you busy. Busy people don't question structures. Busy people don't step back. Busy people don't redesign their lives. They just keep going. The most valuable resource today isn't money, it's attention. And attention, when fragmented, becomes harmless. Speed isn't about moving fast, it's about decision velocity. It's about how quickly you recognize patterns, how fast you can separate signal from noise, how efficiently you can choose a direction and commit. People who can do that don't need permission. They don't need motivation. They don't need constant reassurance. They exit systems quietly. That's why speed is discouraged, not celebrated. Instead of telling you to slow down directly, the system does something more subtle. It overwhelms you. Infinite content, endless opinions, constant alerts, always something new demanding a reaction. Your mind never stays still long enough to form strategy. Your thoughts never sit in one place long enough to deepen. You feel informed but not clear, busy but not effective, active but not advancing. That's not an accident. A distracted mind reacts, a focused mind builds. One feeds systems, the other threatens them. This is why hard work feels empty now. People say things like, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do, I'm trying harder than ever. I'm constantly busy, but nothing is changing. Hard work without leverage is friction. Effort without direction is exhaustion. The system loves effort. Effort keeps everything running. What it doesn't love is alignment. Aligned effort compounds, and compounding creates escape velocity, so you're encouraged to work, but rarely taught how to think. You're rewarded for activity, not for clarity. You're praised for staying busy, not for stepping back. Motion is easy to produce. Momentum is not. Motion looks impressive. Momentum changes lives. Motion is activity without direction. Momentum is direction multiplied by consistency. Motion keeps you tired. Momentum makes things easier over time. Most people live in motion: tasks, meetings, messages, notifications, micro decisions from morning to night. By the time the day ends, there's no energy left for real thinking. Not because you're weak, but because your attention was spent reacting instead of creating. That's the delay. Delay doesn't look like a wall. It looks like convenience. Everything is easier than ever. Information is everywhere. Entertainment never ends. And yet, clarity feels rare. That contradiction isn't a mystery. When inputs are endless, depth disappears. When everything demands attention, nothing gets focus. This is why silence feels uncomfortable now, because silence reveals what noise hides. In silence, questions surface. In silence, patterns become visible. In silence, people realize they've been running in circles, so silence is avoided. Boredom is treated like a problem. Stillness is filled at all costs. Scroll, refresh, consume, repeat. Not enough to stop you, just enough to slow you. The shift that breaks this isn't dramatic, it's subtle. You stop asking what should I do next and start asking what actually matters. You stop measuring days by effort and start measuring them by leverage. One focused hour becomes more valuable than 10 distracted ones. You begin protecting your attention like an asset, because it is. Silence stops feeling empty. It starts feeling productive. Stillness becomes strategic. This is where momentum begins, but the shift is uncomfortable, and that's why most people never make it. It requires saying no, reducing inputs, letting boredom exist without escaping it. It requires stepping off the treadmill while everyone else keeps running. Most people would rather stay busy than feel uncomfortable. They confuse discomfort with danger, but discomfort is where clarity forms. The system trains people to escape silence because silence creates insight. Insight leads to independence. Independence leads to exits. So instead, people are taught to optimize within the system, be more efficient, be more productive, manage time better, but they're never taught to question the structure itself. Internal speed isn't about rushing, it's about reducing friction. Fewer inputs, fewer decisions, clear priorities, simple systems. When your mental environment is clean, thinking accelerates naturally. You don't need more motivation, you need less interference. This is why some people seem calm but dangerous, quiet but effective, slow on the surface, fast underneath. They're not reacting, they're choosing, they're not consuming constantly, they're building quietly. The real advantage isn't intelligence, it isn't money, it isn't even discipline, it's clarity. Clarity lets you move while others hesitate. Clarity removes emotional noise. Clarity creates confidence without arrogance. Clarity doesn't come from doing more, it comes from seeing more. And seeing more requires space. Most people never create that space. They stay busy, they stay tired, they stay delayed. At some point, everyone reaches a fork. One path stays crowded, loud, fast-moving, but going nowhere. The other path is quiet, lonely, uncomfortable, but it compounds. This is where separation happens, not through hustle, not through grinding harder, but through awareness. Once you see the delay, you stop blaming yourself, and once you stop blaming yourself, you stop playing the same game. You move differently, you choose differently, you think longer term, quietly, deliberately, effectively. Most people will never notice what's happening to them. Some will feel this immediately. If you're one of them, you're not late. You were never falling behind, you were being slowed. And now that you see it, the delay starts to lose its power.